Hi, YouTubers. This is pretty plus size me. And I'm coming to you guys with an update. You won't believe that I packed up all my things and moved out of Atlanta. You guys know I had a roommate, and he stopped getting his monthly income that he was getting from his father passing away. So you would assume that someone who's no longer going to be able to pay what was agreed to be paid would just decide that they would leave. You shouldn't have to ask them to leave because you know that you can't pay the bill, so you should leave on your own. But not him. He decided that he wasn't going to pay anything because he didn't have the money, and he also decided that I couldn't make him leave because in the state of Georgia, you can't put someone out your home if they're there longer than 3 weeks. So he called when I told him to get out, because this went on for a while. I didn't even ask him to leave until the 18th of the month. Like, my rent was late. I had to pay $100 late fee, so I had to pay my rent plus $100 by myself. He didn't pay anything because he didn't have any money. And I mean, I'm not a bitch, so I mean, I understand that he may not have had it at the time, but he got a job. His stepdad got him hired somewhere, and he quit after 2 days. So the fact that you didn't have any, your income stopped, which you can't control, so I understand that, but you got a job and you quit that job after 2 days, so that tells me you have no intentions on paying anything. So after he quit his job, I was like, you know what, you're gonna have to leave because you know you're an adult. There's no way I'm gonna be paying all the bills and you in here chilling. So his mother told him that I can't put him out, which I guess technically in the state of Georgia you can't. In Florida, you just have to let them know that they need to leave, and if you call the police and they're not on the lease and they haven't paid any bills, especially if you tell them that the person had a job and quit, they'll ask them to leave. In Georgia, they told us if we put him out, it's a criminal offense. And I'm like, so he's living here for free because he doesn't have any money, nor is he trying to get any money. And the money that he did have coming in, he quit his job, so he wasn't concerned about that. And he telling me that I can't put him out? So pretty much I wasn't interested in that. So I asked him to leave again, and he told me he was going to leave at the end of the month. Oh wow, look at how my tattoo looks. With this thing. Let's try this new thing on my phone. Cause I got my phone, my Evo, and it has this setting on it, so I was just recording in it. But my tattoo looks pretty like that. But yeah, so let me look at the other one. Yeah, it looks pretty. He pretty much told me he wasn't leaving. Pretty much, and to be, for lack of better words, he said he's not leaving to pretty much he get ready to leave. And I was like, nah, bro. That can't happen because you're not going to stay here, not pay rent, and I have to go to work every day and pay all the bills and you chilling. That's just not going to happen. Even my girlfriend can't do that. Like, you know, it was taking her a while to find a job. And I understand that because she's paid all the bills pretty much the whole time we've been together. So for her not to have a job for a couple months, I have to, you know what I'm saying, be understanding of that. But him, bro, I just met you. I don't have to be understanding of that. You need to go home to your mama. If you can't afford to be an adult and pay your own bills, you need to go somewhere where you don't have any bills. And the only place that you ain't gonna have no bills is at your mama house, because you even have to pay to be in jail. So he said he wasn't leaving. Police said I couldn't put him out, so I left. I broke my lease and I moved out because there's no fuck way. No way. I'm just not gonna do it. Everybody thinks I'm crazy for doing it, but I'm not. I'm not gonna go to work and take care of no grown ass man who feel like he gonna do whatever he wanna do, and I can't put him out. I can't. It ain't nothing I can do about it. I have to take off work to go to the courthouse to file a judgment. Then we have to go to court. Then he has to get served. It's first of all, when I file the papers, it takes a week. But in the process, we're talking about the 18th or the 19th of the month already. So he already didn't pay anything for this month, and I had to pay an extra $100 because he didn't pay his part of the rent, which made it late. So on top of that, I have to pay $150 to file the notice to quote unquote evict him, which he's not even on the lease. But then I have to wait a week for them to serve him. First, I gotta take off work to go file the paper, so that's missing time from work, which equals to money. Then I have to pay $150 to have them serve him the paperwork for him to go to for us to go to court. Then I have to wait a week for them to process that. Then however long it takes for them to find him in a spot where they can physically put the paper in his hand. If they can't physically put the paper in his hand, like if they can't get in contact with him to serve him, they throw it out and I have to do it all over again. I don't have to pay the $150 again, but I have to do it all over again. And then we have to go to court, and once the judge approves it, he has 30 days from that date. So we're talking about 30 days from potentially the fucking middle of August. So you mean tell me for July, August, and September, I'm supposed to pay all the bills by myself, and like I'm not even related to you or nothing. Like, I just met you earlier this year, and you didn't have nowhere to go, so I was trying to help you, and you really feel like you have to go through all of this. He should have just left. Like, you had nowhere to go. I let you move into my place, you know, saying that, okay, it was going to help you, but it still would be able to help me because what you're paying, I wouldn't have to pay. Not saying I couldn't pay it by myself, because I could, but I'm not going to pay everything by myself and you a grown-ass man sitting here kicking it. It just wasn't going to happen. So instead of me waiting until pretty much September, probably like the second or third week of September, and paying everything, by the time everything's going to be due already, I wasn't going to do it. So I just left. I broke my lease. Which, when I broke the lease, he had to leave anyways. He can't stay there. He not on the lease. If I'm leaving, he got to go anyways. And to me, that was the way that my situation, my problem was going to be solved, because it wasn't fucking likely that I was going to stay there and foot the bill for him. It just wasn't going to happen. I'm just so uninterested in that shit, and I just wasn't going to do it. Straight up. So a lot of people think I'm crazy for doing it, but I think, fuck that. I'm not that bitch at all. I'm not that bitch. So I left, and after him, and then my other roommates I had where I was living with them, and that shit. So I mean, that shit just went bad and bad, and it's like I don't really need a roommate. You know what I'm saying? I'm always able to, you know, be in a place that I can pay my bills by myself, but it helps. You feel me? When we was roommates at the other apartment with the girls we were in the room for. They was on some other shit. They wasn't paying at all. We were paying them, and they wasn't paying the rent. So then I got my own shit, and I'm not saying he did it on purpose, because he didn't do it on purpose, but you know you in a situation where you can't pay your bills no more, you should just fucking walk away from it. Especially if you with somebody who tried to help you. Like, I fed this man for 3 months. Like, for 3 months, I fed him. You know what I'm saying? We lived together. It's not like, even though we weren't related, it's nothing that I did that I didn't include him in. You feel me? Because I know he only 18, 19 now. I know he young. You feel me? But at the same time, I'm not gonna put myself out there. I'm not gonna put myself in a situation where I'm gonna be fucked up to help you out. I'll help you, but that's taking it just way too far. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous, because we wasn't even gonna move on that side of town. Like, I moved like 45 minutes away from my job to accommodate him because he didn't have a car. And I just feel like the whole situation was real flawed. But I wasn't gonna stay there and take care of this grown ass man to September, especially when his mama there rooting him on. Like, he told his mama that the dust from the site he was working at was messing with his allergies. Instead of getting a fucking breathing mask or covering your face up like every other fucking person that works in construction does, his mama tell him to go ahead and quit. So, bitch, you telling him to quit. You telling him I can't put him out. I gotta take him to court. Bitch, why he not living with you? What the fuck? For what reason are you giving him this fucked up ass advice and then pushing him off on me? Like, nah. Hell no. So we left. Packed up my shit and left. And now I'm in Orlando. And I'm starting all over again. And I mean, honestly, I prefer that. I prefer to have to tough it out and struggle than for somebody to just straight up take advantage of me. I'm not going to allow that to happen. I'm not a bad person, so I'm not going to allow myself to be subjected to fuckery because he feel like he told me I'm fucking him over. Like, dude, you living with me for free. It's already the 18th. If you was in an apartment and it was this late and you didn't pay your rent, they would start following the eviction process. Like, you can't stay in nobody's shit nowhere and be there 3 weeks down, you know what I'm saying, into the month and not have paid nothing. Like, it's not, they're not trying to hear that. They're not trying to hear that. So I don't feel like I should have to try to hear that. So he was like, oh, I'm fucking him over because I'm trying to put him out. Nah, bro, I'm putting you out because you don't got no money. You quit your job. Like, what the fuck? That's only fair. So we here in Orlando. We went to Tampa, but I didn't like Tampa. Tampa seemed a little racist to me. Yeah, we went to Tampa. They didn't like us there. So I'm in the store. The employees following us around. I guess because we black. I don't know. Because there's nothing that looks suspicious about me or Keela, so I don't know. But as soon as we walk in the store, one associate was like, can I help you guys? I'm like, no, I'm just looking. She's following us around. We leave from over there, another one comes. She's following us around. I'm like, damn, like, what the fuck? And when we first got there, we pulled it to Starbucks to use their Wi-Fi, and everybody over there looking at us like we crazy. And I mean, I think even one of them called the police or something, because the police came from out of nowhere and followed me, like literally followed me from one plaza, making every turn that I made to another plaza. I mean, I even parked my car and got out of my car, and the police officer was still in his car parked behind me running my tags. Like, for what? For what reason? I mean, it was no purpose for that. So I don't feel like that's somewhere that I need to be. Because, I mean, I'm from Miami, and we don't really go through shit like that. I've never experienced somebody discriminating against me because of the color of my skin. Like, it's 2012. It's, you know what I'm saying? Because it couldn't have been any other reason. It couldn't have been any other reason. I mean, as soon as I walked in the store, as soon as we pulled up to Starbucks, you know, it's just, even before Starbucks, we went to McDonald's, and everybody in McDonald's was looking at us like we was crazy, even the kids. So I don't know if I was on the wrong side of town, but in 2012, there shouldn't be a wrong side of fucking town. You feel me? So I was just like, nah, I don't want to be here. So we drove for like 45 minutes or an hour away, and we came to Orlando. So we're in Orlando. We got here Friday. Today is... We did get here Friday. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Do your video.
You don't make no noise. You said, Like, we didn't get here Friday.
Mm.
We got here Friday, and 2 people called me yesterday for interviews. So we just started filling out job applications on Saturday and Sunday, and a little bit on Friday. So I got 2 interviews. Keela has 2 interviews. I mean, we haven't even been here for a week yet. And we were in Atlanta for 4 months, and I only got 1 interview. And thank God I got the job, but I only got 1 interview. And I had been looking for a job in Atlanta since before I left. So I was looking for a job in Atlanta for 5 months, and only got 1 interview, and I got the job, thankfully. But Keela got 1 interview too in 5 months in Atlanta, and she did get the job. And it's like, nobody else ain't called her after that. Nobody else ain't called me after that. And I put in over fucking like 40 applications in Atlanta and only got 1 call. So,
but we got interviews, and we also have people sending us emails to take their assessment. So once we finish taking their assessments, hopefully there are more interviews.
Yeah, but for her to have 2 interviews and me to have 2 interviews, and we haven't even been here a week yet, like, this is
right.
Much better than nobody calling us nothing. So, and then we getting a lot of responses back, after you go through the preliminary application. They want you to take the assessments and stuff. We're getting emails to take the assessment. So hopefully everything works out cool. I'm so good for just up and moving. I'm trying to be more stable, I really am, but I just could not stay there and take care of no grown man. Everybody think I'm crazy because I had a pretty good job, which, I mean, it wasn't all that, but it was a pretty good job, you feel me? And, I had a very nice apartment, which I did love. And it just, I was starting to get settled, but then not really, because my girlfriend didn't have a job. So still, I was having to, pretty much foot all the bills, and she didn't even have any leads. And it's not because she wasn't looking. She was looking, and nobody just wasn't calling. So in a way, we were doing pretty good, or I was doing pretty good as an individual. But us as a couple, if both of us aren't doing good, then we're not doing good. So, I mean, I feel like this is going to be a better move, So we'll see what happens. I got an interview tomorrow, and 1 on Friday, and Cash has 2 interviews on Thursday. So we'll see. I just want to give you guys an update. Love you guys. Mwah. Say bye, babe.
I'm eating.